Hey guys, it's Monica at Academic Phoenix Plus, and welcome to the second part of this video tutorial where we are going to finish modeling this weapon. This is Jinx Grenade from Arcane. In the last video tutorial, we covered several things such as creating the base, all these little knobs and details. Now we're going to go ahead and complete it. If you're new to this channel, I post 3D tutorials on a weekly basis. Software that I cover include Maya, ZBrush, and Substance Painter. So if that is your sort of thing, please consider subscribing. So bring out your creativity, open up that software, and let's go ahead and complete modeling Jinx's grenade. Okay, this is the progress so far. I did make a little bit of adjustments to this piece and I didn't realize I wasn't recording, but just to show you guys, I just kind of cleaned up a little bit of the back here. And I kind of spread out the vertices here using quad draw. And I also brought these vertices a little bit closer so I can get a little bit more of a spike. And that's really about it. So let me go ahead and kind of review this a little more. And I think I really need to just make this bigger overall. And maybe just crush it a little bit so it's not so far away from the body, and then just kind of nudge it in. I feel like this is significantly larger. And I'm not capturing that, so that means I do have to move these little eyes and make them bigger. Yeah, make sure it fits in the scene. Cool. Let's see. I also added an edge here because it was kind of soft edged. So I added an insert edge and I cleaned that up a little bit too. So now it looks nice and smooth. And this is what we have so far. Cool. Okay, so the next part is going to be the bottom, which I'm going to tackle it very similar to the top. So I'm going to grab a torus and let's go ahead and bring down the subdivisions and also the radius. Oops, it's probably too small. Go ahead and middle mouse. By the way, I select the word section radius and middle mouse and drag, and you can get a little bit control over the values. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more. Not the height, but I actually want this to be a little smoother. That gives me a little bit more mesh to work with. And I might reduce the height a little bit more. All right, let's do the same thing. Let's delete some faces. Start of a jaw, the bottom of the jaw. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Okay, that should give me a good start. Making this a little wider. And let's isolate select. Pink. Oop, let me try that again. I'm going to select my image plane and this torus and just go ahead and isolate select. All right, let's grab some faces. Shift double click, click, shift double click, shift double click. I'm actually going to press R and just kind of crush them flat. And let me look at the video reference. Okay, let's see. We got a little bit of thickness there. It's actually very thin at the bottom and really sharp. So let me capture that. Let's see. So the center appears to be more linear, so I'm just going to give myself a little bit more mesh here, and then what I can do is just double click on these edges and just kind of push it down, and then I'm going to grab these as well and bring these down as well. So that's going to give me a little bit of that sharp feature. And to be fair, I don't think I need all these vertices, so Control Delete. I'm going to start a little bit lower. Actually, let me bring that back, but I can get rid of this one instead. Just start low and then start climbing up as you start adding more details. All right, so we have that, and it's a little flatter. So let's grab some faces here and just kind of the other side. All right, let me just make everything flat so it's not so rounded. If you click on the letter D, you can actually move the pivot point. So when you hit R, you can actually crush it a little bit and it still is going to remain straight, which is nice. Let's see. I think I have too many vertices here too. So let me go ahead and do a Control Delete. And I probably did the same thing at the bottom. Again, I'm trying to keep my geometry low. To be fair, I might not eat this part either until later. Let me grab this again, click the letter D, move that pivot point, and then you can scale it flat. And I'm also going to rotate it. Something like that. Oh. All right, let's extrude. Let's select this, Control E, lift. And I'm going to push it in a little bit. And then I'm going to extrude again, just to give myself more mesh. And again, push it in just a little bit. That should give me enough, hopefully enough to kind of get this shaping. So this is a little bit wider. So let's grab these two vertices, bring them out, and then bring them down. That's going to give me a nice shape. I'm going to push this aside just so I can get a little bit more smoother transition there. And then I do have, let's see, this spike is more here. This is more down. I'm going to scale it. And I'll do the same thing to the other side. Just going to grab these vertices and just going to bring them, bring them in, grab these and bring them down. Something like that. All right. I have a hole there, but I'll fix that later. And let's see what else we have. So now we have spike, spike. Let me just straighten that out a little bit. All right, I'm going to move this in. I am going to grab this. Actually, let me grab this and just kind of squeeze it in. Let's just go ahead and fill holes. So let's go to mesh, fill hole. Let's grab these faces. I'm going to push them in. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. And then I'm going to extrude. Going to extrude this up and out. Let's go ahead and grab this and extrude again. And we are going to lift. Then I'm just going to grab these guys here. And actually, let me grab this edge and just bring it down a little bit, and then just grab these two and then extrude again. So something like that. Let me grab these vertices and just make it a little bit more diagonal. And this can lift a little bit. All right, let's see. We press the number 3 and we have a little bit of a jaw. It still needs to be sharpened a little bit, but in general, that should do it. So instead of doing the same thing on one side, I'm going to just go ahead and delete one side and just duplicate it on the other. But first, let me fix some edges. Let me crush these a little bit. And let's go ahead and mirror. So we're going to go to mesh, mirror. Let's choose object. And let's see if I can push this out a little bit. There we go. Something like that. And just like that. Cool. Let's get some bevels. Double click. Click those edges. Double click. Make sure you go all the way around. Not that one. These guys here. Perfect. Something like that. And just to keep it even all the way across, let's go ahead and select these as well. Don't forget the bottom. Double click. double click, click. Anything that you want to keep the sharpness, you need to kind of select those edges. So for example, if I want to keep this a little bit sharper, which I'm gonna do, I'm going to go ahead and might as well just bevel those two. All right, let's see. I think that's good. Control B. If you want, you can add a second segment, but I'm going to leave it as that and then press the number 3. And there we go. Now, the bottom one needs a little bit more sharpness, so we can definitely add some vertices. So let's add some edges here. And let's bring down these vertices. All right, let's see how this fits. Really close. Again, not perfect, but it's going to be kind of like a stylized look. Something like that. All right, let me isolate select, see if I can make it a little sharper. Let's look at the top view. It's a little rounded. So what I'm going to do is grab some vertices and let's turn on symmetry because I did mirror it. So it should theoretically affect everything, but for whatever reason, it's not. That's too bad. Okay. Let's just move some vertices. I'm just going to make it little. Let's grab just these and just make it more straight. Push this in a little. Okay, there we go. If I move my pivot point here, I can be like, nya, 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 which is, I think, the whole point of the animation. Let me grab this one and just push it back. There you go. Again, not perfect, but hopefully gets the idea across. And I still feel this is small, so let me make it bigger, and I feel this one can be bigger too. All right, cool. And maybe this one can be wider. Let me grab everything, press the number 3, and we now have a smooth preview. Okay, oops, that one's intersecting, so let me just kind of nudge it forward a little bit. Okay, and let me move this one up a little bit. And of course, the eyes need to go up too. Let's see, it feels like these got pushed in, so I'm just gonna nudge them back. Something like that. Just want it to be a little flatter. Okay, cool. It's coming along. Okay, I think this needs to be lower. So let me turn on the symmetry. It should work on this one. Oops. Yeah, I don't understand why my symmetry stopped working, but okay. So let's grab these guys and just kind of bring them down a little bit. And then I'm going to just increase the scale for this by 1.41. So it's the same one. So let's just go ahead and do that. And I can just bring this down. All right, let's make sure we select everything. I'm not convinced by this still, so let me go back here and just make it straight. And actually, maybe this should be bigger all around. So let me just grab everything and just scale. I can group them all actually, center the pivot, and then scale. Okay, that's actually looking better already. Except the jaw looks really funny. Okay. In comparison to this one, which is so sharp. And this one looks so... let's see, I can bring this in. And then I can bring this out. That's probably too much. But I can, in fact, bring this out a little bit. So that will give me that sharp edge. Which I might do for this one. So let me insert some edges. And I'll do the same thing for this one. Whoops. Here and here. You can also, you know, add bevels, which is almost like the same idea that we're doing. So if you want to keep those edges, like this one, for example. It's a little pinch right here. You can spread out the vertices or the edges a little bit to kind of avoid that pinch. Well, hopefully it gets you guys the idea. Again, let's go ahead and delete all the history and all that jazz, and let's move on to, there's a pin in this side. So she actually has it on her thumb, so she pulls it out. So it's like a little ring thing, and there's a little hole right here. So let's go ahead and add that in here. So I'm going to add it over here to the side. So I'm going to use a torus. I'm going to make it pretty low poly. And let's go ahead and reduce this even more. It's just a small detail, so let's make this even smaller. Okay. Let's bring in a pin. 90 degrees. Reduce the topology. Go ahead and get rid of the cap. Let's make this thinner. Gonna add an edge loop. And then also add an edge loop. And same for this one, just make it smaller. All right, let's do the pin. So, whoops. Let's go ahead and snap it on here again, just using a regular torus. I'm going to make it relatively thin, like maybe 0.2, 0.05. Let's rotate it. It's really high poly. Let's change this to maybe a 10. All right. Ooh, this one got moved. Let me make sure I lift that up. And somewhere in here are 2 cylinders. There they are. Okay. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Don't forget to save. Okay, so finally, let's start focusing on the other details, which is the handle. Right, so we have this handle sticking out of it. It's got some sort of contraption. So you've got this, and then you got a contraption here that I guess that's what you hold. And there's some gears and things like that there. These pieces, I think I'm just going to go ahead and I might model. Well, we'll see. I thought about texturing them, but it might be better to actually model that in because it's actually kind of deep. Let's see. Is this part of that metallic thing at the top? Let me see. All right, she grabs it. That's a lot of motion blur. I'm trying to see if I can see the top. Oh boy, this is the top. I can't see anything. All right, let me see if I got one frame. Well, this one's actually, the hooks are actually on the front facing this direction, so that's interesting. And okay, let me see the other one. Oh yeah, okay. So that is incorrect. Let me grab these guys and just rotate it. Oh, let me group them and then rotate it. Okay, those are the type of details. Almost missed. Okay, let me bring this in a little bit. All right, so the next piece is going to be the side piece, the grip, I guess. So let's see, what can we do? I think what I'm going to do is actually use this as part of it. So I'm going to straighten this out. And then what I'm going to do is go to this side here, and I'm going to turn the grid on. I don't even know how I turned it on. So I'm going to actually extrude from a curve. So let's go to create a curve, EP curve tool. And what I can do is just kind of create a curve that's going to follow the geometry. So it's going to go this way. Hold down shift if you want a straight line. Then it's going to go up. It's going to go across. Then it's going to kind of go diagonal. It's going to go straight down. And let me just give myself a couple more. And it goes around here. And then eventually it starts to curl. So let me just give myself a little bit more curves. And then just kind of slowly curl this way. So something like that. But let me grab some control vertices, and I'm going to try to straighten these things out a little bit more. And I think that's going to be okay. All right, so next is going to be to move this here. And then what we can do is grab these faces, shift select a curve, Do a Control E, which is extrude, and then increase your divisions. And just like that. So I think this is a little too far, so now I can just go ahead and manipulate the geometry. And if you need to straighten anything, go ahead and straighten it. But actually, I think mine turned out pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete the history, and then I can delete the curve. And that was a really fast way of creating that piece. If you want things to straighten, you just go ahead and double click and do a Control Delete, which will delete the edges as well as the vertices. So that's going to also lower your topology. You can press the number 3 to see what that looks like. And I'm actually really okay with it. All right, cool. That was actually pretty easy. Surprisingly easy. Okay, let's see what else we have. We have some sort of contraptions. It's a little hard to see, but there seems to be a sphere and some sort of spring. There we go. So there's like a contraption right here. So there's a gear and more gears. Okay, so all of that's probably going to be texture based, but let's at least get something going on there. So one's a gear. So again, this is going to be really low poly. Whee. I'm going to get rid of the cap because we're not really going to see it. And let's place it in the contraption, which I believe is like here. I might have this already, so I'm going to just see if I can grab it. Duplicate this one, Control D. All right, let's move this 90 degrees. All right. And no one's going to see that interface, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. So again, I'm going to add myself just some edges just to make sure that when I smooth preview, it will stay where it's at. Right, so if I press a number 3, it's going to look like that. And I think I need another one, so I'm going to duplicate this one, lift it up, maybe scale it up a little bit. Okay. Cool. And then finally, we have this giant gear here. Let me see if we have a better image here. Yum, 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 yum. Their animations is so on par. Really hard to see. Better off with this one, I think. Okay, it looks like it's just a cylinder with a gear. So, well, I guess I can duplicate this one. But it doesn't have it on the other side. So let me move this pivot point. And then I can mirror it. Let's do object. There we go. It's like something like this in here. Feels like it needs some sort of support system. So let me add that in here. And of course I can always grab this edge and just kind of bring it down. stylized. Okay. I think that's it. I want to grab, so now I'm just going to nudge some things. So for example, I think I want to nudge these here just to kind of, there you go, give me a different look there, but still works. And I think I'm done. I guess it's a texture. Oh yeah, the inside. That's what I wanted to do. Let's see. I thought about just modeling it, like, but then texturing it, but I realized that it's got a big indentation, so I think it might be better to actually texture it. So let me insert an edge, and let's see what happens if I smooth, if I get the mesh that up, because I need more mesh. So let me smooth it. It's probably too much mesh. Well, I can clean it up a little bit. So I can control delete those. You know, you can just smooth things and then just kind of get rid of the ones that you don't want, like those, for example, they don't do anything. I can delete them and no one's going to be the wiser. The reason why I wanted that was because I'm trying to get some, what I want to do is actually grab every other and kind of lift, which is going to give me the shape that I need for the extrude. So I'm skipping 2, grabbing 1, like that. So let me just make sure I do that. Let's see, skip 2, grab 1, skip 2, grab 1, skip 2, grab 1. Oh, nice. That actually works out. Whoop. All right, let's grab some faces. I wonder if my symmetry is going to work now. Symmetry. It's weird that it kind of works, but it doesn't work. All right, let's just go ahead and grab faces. Doop, 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 doop. And just to make sure I selected everything that I need, just go ahead and isolate select the faces, and you can see that I missed one. So it's really kind of handy tool. All right, looks good. Let's go ahead and extrude, Control E. I'm gonna grab the blue one here. Why? There we go. Let's try the isolate select again, just make sure. Okay, let's go ahead and extrude, Control E, grab the blue one and just kind of push it in just a little bit, maybe slightly scale, just to give it a bevel right off the bat. And then extrude again, grab the blue one and just push it in a little more. And that should give us the look. Press the number 3. It doesn't look so hot, but since we beveled it, we should be okay. Everything is basically ready for UV mapping. Awesome. So the next part is going to be UV mapping. That's going to be really important because I'm going to bring this into Substance Painter and start texturing. So let me go ahead and grab everything. And again, I'd like to center the pivot, delete the history, freeze the transformation. I'm going to go ahead and do a Control G, and I'm going to remove all of these extra nodes. And this is going to be my Jinx grenade group for now, or just Geo. Maybe spell Geo correctly. There we go. And yeah, there's definitely room for improvement, but hopefully that will give you guys some ideas on how you can model Jinx's grenade. Again, it's not perfect, but that's okay. It's going to make it look even cooler when we start texturing it. And I think that there's some adjustments I need to make, such as making sure that the eyes are big enough, because this side's bigger and this one seems a little small now that I look at it. So for example, I can just go ahead and grab some vertices. Let me isolate select. Okay. Let me make sure I didn't select anything that I wasn't supposed to, like that. And then I can just kind of scale it up a little bit more and just kind of bring it down. So that just makes it a little bit bigger. Oh, it looks better. See, just the subtleties really add up. Cool. So the next part is going to be to UV map. There is a lot of pieces, so that's going to be a whole thing. But hopefully you guys found that helpful. Let me know by leaving a comment below. If you guys are going to recreate this and do a better job than I did, please tag me on your social media. I am in Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and I would love for you guys to tag me and show me your work. It's always really cool to see how people take these videos and create your own work. So that would be amazing. If you found this at all useful and you found some new tool and enjoyed it, then please like and of course subscribe to my channel. That is your message to me, letting me know that you like these videos and that you want to see more. So please like and subscribe. Also share my videos with your friends and instructors or whoever. If they think that this is something that would be helpful for them, please share my videos. Take a look at academicphoenixplus.com. That is my website where it's got free 3D models, tutorials, and so much more. And it also has e-courses. So if you guys want to dive into modeling and texturing and all that jazz, then take a look at my e-courses. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time. Keep creating, and I will see you next time when we start UV mapping the grenade, and then we will texture it. So again, I'm going to move this pivot point back here and maybe a little animation, and make this glow. Ooh, that'll be fun. All right, that will be for when we start texturing. All right, guys, I will see you next time.